Hey, it's me, Big P, and in my last video, someone requested a little bit of gameplay footage for the build, and I said, don't worry about it, it's going to be fine, but then I started to worry about it, so I threw together something with standard gear with some very reasonable, stuff. The pen itself can be replaced with a spell slinger setup, but everything else is very doable on day one. Nothing is really necessary. Like, these two are like okay, these uniques, and of course this. But yeah, let's go over all the gear real quick and the setup. The main thing I was worried about is reserving Volatile Dead, because normally I would be like, maybe try a 5 link and see if it works like that, but because we are reserving Volatile Dead as a spell slinger, I not only wanted to see how it would be, but also see how much mana it would reserve with the whatchamacallit supports that I planned on doing, and it turns out that we can do this, a Herald, and some level of Vitality, which is pretty much exactly what I planned on for the Inquisitor. We're going to run a tier 14 map with some very basic gear on, like super basics. Like, you can only go up in terms of, well, even the pen itself. I'm thinking more and more about how I'm only running with the mana reserves that we'd have on the tree. So even if you forget to get your, whatchamacallit, Conqueror's efficiency as a jewel, you don't have to worry about it. We got 3 points to spare on a level 92 Inquisitor, following the exact same tree. Weird random jewels like this, this isn't what I would do. I basically just grabbed whatever was available in standard. For example, this absolutely terrible wand. It does basically nothing besides the global crit multi, which is actually pretty nice. And I guess I'm using cold. I'm actually kind of a little bit worried about porcupines and stuff coming up, so I'm using a Herald device that's linked with punishment here. But again, with the Herald and the vitality, depending on how much actual mana you have to adjust. But that's fine. You just buy a new one from the store. What else? This is just like whatever multi-strike. What the hell build was this? This is just like a whatever defensive setup. Flame Dash, Second Wind, and Arcane Surge. This will probably be how it's set up. And the Sedimas, look at that Legacy Quant roll. Oh, beautiful. But it's not actually doing anything for the build, besides a little bit of attack damage on the attack. I went for faster attacks instead of Barrage because we are alternating attacks and want to get this attack out faster. This thing is terrible, Crafted Life. And I don't know what the hell's going on here. 50 and 1 minimum endurance charge? Again, I don't really know. This one's actually alright. Static Blows is relevant. That's probably... I might anoint that. But you could also anoint the elemental damage that we went into here. Again, just want to give a little bit of an overview. Let's get into the mapping. And I've done these Witness too. Went back, I was leveling a Blade Blast, but depending on how much dex you have, you won't be able to level it up all the way. It's some amount of oh god, ghosted. Let's see. You do die here and there, but that's with a again, a Tabula, and I'll put a POB with the rest of the gear up. Kind of had to dance around that one rare because the whenever you're not within proximity, I don't know, it feels a little different than it used to. The whatchamacallit, the AI of the volatiles, maybe they're just not coming out as fast because Poet's Pen's been nerfed, but that shouldn't really have anything to do with Spell Slinger. A lot of kind of squeaky rares here. Is this like an Elder map? I guess I have a bunch of Sextants on too, so I guess this is kind of juiced. It's a ranged build, and I'm using a level 20 gem, so it's strong, but really the strength of a build like this is going to be, you got to kind of play around it, so it's just some kind of average gameplay, I would say. Again, a lot of room for scaling. The single target, honestly, I didn't really see what map mods we had. It's going to be interesting. So this is with no Explodey chest, but between the Herald of Ice, sometimes proccing and critting, and sometimes dying, clearing everything is seeming pretty okay. It's just, it's not as immediate as I would really hope there. But you saw that rare monster. It's just sometimes, if it's really dense and thick, monsters, you won't get to that rare mob in time. But let's go. Let's see. And see, it's like that felt a little bad right there. That's pretty sluggish of that to come out, and then you don't kill immediately. But you kind of have to play around. Again, I would recommend maybe a Divergent Volatile Dead, because they do seem a little slow, a little finicky. But just make sure you shoot a couple. You know, you maybe just take it a little slower. You know, you don't go super zoom. In the old build, you could just have body swap. I actually haven't practiced with that yet because I feel like it would be a little reckless. See, they kind of just ignored the rare there, but there's plenty. There's enough to kill. So you end up having to kite a little bit. A little annoying, I gotta say, but I think that with proper investment, it's gonna feel really, really good. I mean, this doesn't actually seem that bad, you know, considering it was kind of juiced almost. Only tier 14. But like half of my supports aren't leveled. I just kind of, again, I'm going to put the, you can see exactly what level, I don't know what I would consider this. Definitely wouldn't be using like half the gear that I am using. Definitely would go for a plus level of spell gems. Let's see a bit of the tankiness here. So this is without corrupted soul. And here you go. Maven. You just DPS a bit and flame dash, and DPS a bit and flame dash. I'm like, that's it. That's the build. DPS a bit and flame dash. You took the hit there. Or like poisoned or something. What was that? So something to consider is if something is not in your consecrated ground, the bias path, the first part of the tree, won't affect it. So being actually on top of something while you're DPSing it is kind of ideal. They'll take increased damage, they have higher critical strike chance against them. It's pretty long, but and that's a tier 14 map with stuff that I could easily get on the first day. And it's a spell build, so with the new buffs to like cluster jewels, not clusters, they nerfed clusters, the whatchamacallit, abyss jewels. Maybe you can get a good couple of those. I'm using them very like whatever. But yeah, that's I think I can do it. I think it's going to be okay to start from the ground up. You know, ultimately, Volatile Dead is a spell. This one wasn't even fully qualityed or anything like that. We're going to, obviously, something very doable is getting a level 21 gem of this, and then further, you know, crafting better wands, maybe eventually dropping some of these, like, kind of whatever gimmicky auras that I was throwing in to reserve the Desecrate in the Spellslinger setup. Probably would only need to be a 2-link, so it might not be that bad. And then getting another plus to level of spell skills, wands, whatever, you know. You can scale up is all I'm saying, and that's how it looks right now. So let's keep this under 10 minutes. Gotta keep your fingers ready for the weekend. Take it easy.